I am currently trying to 100% my backlog, so I feel better because a random number goes up. So the next game is Neverwinter Nights, the Enhanced Edition. It has a total of 47 achievements, which require you to play the main campaign and the two main expansions. I decided to do a blind playthrough first and just save a ton. So for any achievements I missed, I could just reload my save. We are starting with the first campaign, The Wailing Death.
A virulent plague swept the city, a terrible affliction that began in the beggar's nest. Soon, all of Neverwinter would feel the touch of the Wailing Death.
So we are basically a hero being trained to find a cure for the plague. We create a character not inspired by another franchise and start the prelude. The prelude acts as a tutorial and teaches the basics of the game. A paladin by the name of Arabeth is in the academy training all of the heroes. We meet with Arabeth after we finish our training and she tells us of some creatures they got from Waterdeep that are supposed to help us find a cure. We suddenly get attacked and Arabeth tells us to head to the creatures to protect them. We arrive too late and the creatures have fled. And with that the prelude ends and we get our first achievement. Act 1 begins by us getting tasked with finding the escaped creatures and uncovering who attacked the academy. I have a feeling the monster hunting part is going to be easy for my character. We learn that on top of the plague, a prison break is happening and no one knows why. So since some strange creatures have been spotted around the prison district, we decide to head there. On our way, we recruit a rogue, kill a lot of prisoners, and arrive at the prison. Since the prisoners have blocked the entrance, we had to find another way. Which who would have guessed was through a woman's basement that contained a giant chessboard. A very normal thing to have in your basement, even for D&D. Anyways, we learn that the head of the prison is apparently the reason the prisoners got released, and that he is trying to convert them into brainless creatures for some fucking reason. We slowly clear the prison, and since it was super satisfying, here's a time lapse, so can waste more of your time. Oh, and I also died, but that was planned, so I could get another achievement. Turns out it was an intellect devourer that controlled the guards. We kill it, steal his brain, and turn it in for the first creature. I recruit a healer and make my way to the beggar's den because a zombie outbreak is happening there. While exploring, we stumble upon a cult of some sort, fight them, find out that another creature was controlling them, and turned them into zombies, so we kill it. We then enter the docking district and figure out that the gang has captured a third creature. We also learn that the gang has split because they had a dispute about if Starfield is any good. So to get our hands on the third creature, we obviously kill the leader of the side that thinks that Starfield is good, and as a thanks we get the remains of the creature. I then reach a level where I could do all of the companion quests. So I did most of them because I learned the hard way that if you don't do companion quests as soon as they are available, you don't get a romance scene with Liara. These are just fetch quests for specific items they want. I then went to the last district, Backlog. This is the rich people district. In there, I found the last tomb for a quest. In this quest, you had to find 3 ancient tombs and get a specific item. And to open them, you had to solve a small riddle. But the last tomb had some insanely powerful flying swords in them that I needed to fight. But kiting them and drinking more potions than Garrett has ever chugged, I managed to defeat them. And I even got an achievement for doing it on a level 8. And turning in all of the items for all the tombs got me another achievement. But the reason why I was in Backlog was because of the last creature, a Triad. I found out that the rich dude who's running a zoo has apparently captured her. We save her and get some of her hair. And I got the last item for the companion quest, so I turned all of them in and got another achievement. We then get back to Arabeth to watch a ritual that's going to create a cure. The ritual is a success and we get a cure which cures the Wailing Death and everyone lives happily ever after. Except everyone because a guy named Dester stole it. He escaped through a portal. We follow him, which doesn't make my character sick. We learn of a cult of the old ones, which Dester is supposed to belong to. But apparently he betrayed the cult after his return and turned people into zombies. We come across a giant building where a demon is being held, so we banish it and get a achievement. In the upstairs floor we find Dester, defeat him and bring him back to Neverwinter. He gets burned and Arabeth's boyfriend gets hanged because he unknowingly helped Dester. The Wailing Death is cured, and we get a achievement, but the damage is done and the cult is still out there, so we track the cult to the town of Port Last. We look around the town, learn of a werewolf who attacked 4 people and potentially turned them into werewolves themselves. In a random building, we find a giant basement that belongs to a wizard who normally lives in a tower outside of the town. We find a stone in the basement, which should allow us to enter the tower. But first, we go north. We speak to a farmer who told us that his wife was kidnapped by some goblins. We find a cave system in which the goblins have imprisoned the farmer's wife. We save her and find out that the bugbear leader has apparently joined the cult and is recruiting a giant army, so we make our way further into the cave, find the leader, and kill him. Further north, we find a inn, where the innkeeper has a illegal game in his basement, in which adventurers compete in a dungeon, and the first to get out wins. Insert Squid Game joke. We join and obviously win. After that, we try to go to the neighboring town Luskin, but they won't let us in because they don't like that my main warmer faction is Tau. We reach level 10 by killing some trolls, which is a achievement. A assassin appears and tries and kill us, but he is shit and dies. We learn that after killing us, he is supposed to go to Luskin and meet with the cult. And that's our first clue where the cult is supposed to be, but Arbreath wants 2 clues, which is kind of weird because the rule of 3 doesn't apply. We then enter the Neverwinter Forest. In the forest, we get attacked by some deers, probably out of revenge for hitting one with my car. We find a door in a tree, find a lair of a nymph, who apparently is losing her powers because of the spirit of the woods. She tells us of a ritual at the waterfall where we should kill ourselves and then land in the realm of the spirit. So we get to the waterfall, kill ourselves, and awaken in another realm. We cure the spirit and learn that it was poisoned because the cult was trying to get an artifact that the spirit has buried. We then find the wizard tower and loot it, because what is a guy in a pyjama and a stick going to do against my sword? And with that we get a achievement for reaching 100,000 gold coins. After that it was getting kind of late, so I just zoned out after going to a castle in the woods, and I made the wrong choice and missed out on an achievement. But right after I got another achievement for curing all of the werewolves. And since this is a new act, there are new companion quests. So we do all of them again for another achievement. We then deliver the proof that the cult is in Luskan for another achievement. Arabeth gets us away into the city, but disappears after that. Sus. We are now in Luskan, but since the cult is in the Tower of the Arcane Brotherhood, we have to get a special seal to get in. Only the commanders of the city have one, so we kill one and steal his seal. We fight our way through the tower and get a achievement for unlocking a prestige class and another because it was from Lords of the Underdark. At the top, we see Arbeth betray Neverwinter and join the cult, because she blames the city for what happened to her lover. And that ends Act 2. But in the tower, we also learn of 4 worlds of power the cult is after. And they already got one, so our mission is to find these artifacts before they do. And with that, Act 3 begins. But instead of saving the city, I decided to play lawyer for a drunk guy first. A woman in the tavern wants us to get a special snow globe, and then she would tell us where one of the artifacts is. We get her the snow globe, and she tells us that one of the artifacts is inside it. When trying to enter, we get 2 options. In the first, some dwarfs are killing triads, and in the second one, triads are killing dwarfs. Don't really know how a piece of wood is supposed to kill a mighty dwarf, but alright. In both worlds is also a dragon, who apparently uses the artifact to become immortal. In a chest, we also find a broken amulet. We go to the side where the dwarfs are friendly and have them repair it. And we go inside the portal where the wood is friendly and have them infuse the amulet with magic. With that amulet, we are able to kill the dragon and get the first artifact and a achievement. In Moonwood, we find a cave with a dragon that wants us to get rid of some giants because they keep trying to steal the dragon's eggs. We do that, but not because we are helpful, but because the giants give a lot of XP. In another cave, we find a second dragon. He wants us to get rid of an evil red dragon. We find a slayer and very easily kill it, because before the fight I explored and found an item that's going to make the fight a lot easier, and I didn't spend an hour teleporting into the fight to hit him once and then teleporting out to fully heal. Anyways, the dragon dies and we find that he has the second artifact. We also bring proof of his death to the golden dragon who wanted him killed. And as a thanks we get an achievement. Oh, and some gold. The last artifact was in the ruins of an ancient race called the Creators. They got some invulnerable golems patrolling, and we need to defeat them to get the last artifact. So we travel back in time to put a flaw into their production, because they conveniently built altars that allow us to travel to the exact moment the golems were getting manufactured. Anyways, we get the last artifact. Before saving Neverwinter, we do even more companion quests, but all we get is some stupid achievement. We complete Act 3 for a achievement. The epilogue begins by us going to Neverwinter. It turns out that the cult wants to destroy Neverwinter because a special stone is buried there, and in combination with all of the artifacts, they want to summon the Queen of the Creator Race to rule over the world. On our way, we have a run-in with Arabeth, convince her that she made a mistake, and get a achievement. We then manage to get the fourth artifact by killing the leader of the cult. But the fight is not over, so we go to a giant altar and combine all of the artifacts to enter a realm where the queen is. We kill her and save Naruto, and that ends the Wailing Death. But we still have to do some cleanup because I missed some achievements. The first achievement is in Act 1, where we need to burn 4 plague victims that were already dead. Probably. In Act 2, we need to do some side quests and get a ton of different items. I already done that, but I forgot one single item in the Squid Game Inn, so I need to do all of that again. But we got an achievement. Also, since I zoned out at a castle where I made the wrong choice, I needed to repeat that quest too. The basic plot of the quest is that uh, I actually forgot, but I had to summon a demon, which was cool. Also, I actually had to be a good lawyer because I needed the clients to go free with the jury being unanimous. I did that with the help of a little bribery and got another achievement. Another achievement was gotten for defeating the dragon in the snow globe without getting the amulet first. During the siege on Neverwinter in the epilogue, we also had to destroy 3 catapults and kill 2 mages for another achievement. And instead of convincing Arabeth to see reason, we just kill her. We also had to kill the final boss on the hard difficulty. For the last achievement in the Wailing Death campaign, we had to save a baby in Act 2 in Luskan, and not turn in the quest and finish Act 2. This baby also will have another role for an achievement later. Now I have to play the 2 expansions. Shadow of Utrantide begins with an adventurer hiring and us being a student of him. Then he gets attacked and 4 magical items get stolen. I retrieve it, but one of them is broken, but there is another artifact in it that appears to be much stronger. To identify the item, we make our way into the desert, find out that the Medusa is trying to get the artifact to rebuild the ancient flying city of Utrantide, so she can rule over the world. She steals the item from us and the city begins to fly, but we stop and kill her. With that, the first expansion is done and we get 2 achievements, for beating the game and for beating the game on hard mode. The second expansion is Hordes of the Underdark, which plays after the events of Shadows of Utrantide. The city of Waterdeep is under attack because a mad wizard that lives under the city has apparently disappeared, and now trolls and other creatures that live under the wizard are now able to come to the surface. On our way to find out what happened to the wizard, we reach level 20 for a achievement, and another for reaching level 5 in the prestige class. Before saving the wizard, we were able to get a achievement for having 4 companions. This can't normally be gotten because you can have only 1 companion, but during the fight to free the wizard, a troll helps us and she has a possibility of summoning a creature. In Act 2, we find an altar where we can sacrifice a baby if we keep it from the Wailing Death campaign, or you can use another baby you could get in Shadows of Utrantide. Another achievement is gotten for reaching level 21 in your starter class. We figure out that the Drow who leads the attack against the surface has gotten so much power because she bound Mephistopheles, the king of the eighth hell. We manage to find and defeat her, but Mephistopheles escapes and imprisons us in his hell. While trying to escape hell, we get a achievement for unlocking a prestige class from Hordes of the Underdark, and since this is my second prestige class, I get another achievement. We managed to escape hell and stop Mephistopheles for another 2 achievements, for beating the expansion and for beating the expansion on hard mode. Now to the final part, the last cleanup. With 1 achievement being for reaching level 40, which would take a shit ton of time because there are no really high level campaigns to effectively level. So I bought the Infinite Dungeon expansion where you can start with a pre-made level 40 character. But launching the expansion I didn't get the achievement. So I spent 2 hours trying to get a very suspicious mod loader to work so I can play a level 40 community made expansion, which didn't work. I then found out that I can just start the Infinity Dungeon expansion and just upload my character and import it into a low-level campaign, where I immediately got the level 40 achievement and also a achievement for getting a epic spell. No clue what that achievement even requires, but I got it, and a achievement for having 10 skill points in the tumbling skill. I then launched the Hordes of the Underdark expansion with a new character, which immediately puts him at level 15, and you can freely level them. So I leveled them until I got 10 skill points in the Bluff skill. For another fun achievement, I launched the Wailing Death campaign as a wizard and killed my companion with AoE attacks. The last achievement is gotten for getting 5 specific spells. To actually unlock the achievement, you also have to cast one of them. And doing all of that, I got every achievement in Neverwinter Nights, the Enhanced Edition. Thanks for watching.